I forgive myself that I've accepted and allow myself to rush myself. I forgive me that I've accepted and allow myself to rush to make a decision. I forgive myself, accept, allow myself to rush to make decisions. I forgive myself that accept, allow myself to either rush to make a decision, irrationally make a decision, or take so much time and never make a decision. Be very indecisive. I forgive myself that I accept allow myself to fear making decisions. I forgive myself that I accept allow myself to fear looking at all the variables involved in making a decision. I forgive myself, accept allow myself to dismiss certain variables when I make a decision, because I fear to look at it. Clearly, when I was making the decision to buy the car, I did not look at the price of gas and how much I will have to spend for gas. I didn't look at it. I forgive myself that I accept allow myself to pay more attention to certain elements in the equation than others. An equation has variables. An equation has so many variables that are equally important. Even if they are not equally important, that variable is part of the equation that requires my attention equally. Maybe the luxury of a car is more important to me than the price of gas or how much I drive. But still I must consider each variable. So a decision making involves looking at all variables equally, at least paying attention to all variables equally. To dismiss or to give in to a pressure, because the car salesman was pushing me at that time, he put me a little bit of pressure. So I kind of skip certain variables in my equation. And I did not cover all the dealership that I was hoping to cover. I did not give myself that fair chance to make a right decision. I just limit myself in decision making. I said just enough to go to this 1 or 2 dealerships. When there are about 10 of them in my neighborhood, because was I lazy? No, it's been irresponsible. I just didn't bother to go and look at them. Basically, I wanted the other people to make a decision for me and say, Anton, listen, this car is the right car for you because it fits your budget, it fits your gas price, it fits your reliability factor, it fits your luxury factor, it looks good, it's a perfect vehicle, and this is the ideal vehicle for you. So Anton, go and buy it. That's exactly what I want. I want someone to make the decision for me. There you go again. Come back to responsibility. I did not make the decision. I did not take the responsibility to make the decision. I forgive myself that accept allow myself to fear making decisions. I forgive myself, accept allow myself to fear making decisions with all the variables in hand. Because I fear looking at certain variables and I favor some other variables. I forgive myself, accept allow myself to believe I am unable to make a decision. I forgive myself, accept allow myself always want others to make decisions for me. I forgive myself, accept allow myself to fear taking the responsibility to make decisions in my life, thereby subtly giving my self-power to others so that they can make decisions for me. So effectively, this car, for me to drive this car, the decision that this is the car I will drive was made by the car salesman. He decided for me I gave in to it. Now today I realize $90 for a full tank, it's not something I am happy with. Had I known that variable, I would have said, no, well, I'll go for a Civic, or, that's something, $60 a tank. Of course, a smaller tank, but still, I forgive myself that accept allow myself to, in my life, never make decisions, wanting others to make a decision. No, I'm not saying I'm totally regretted driving this car. No, that's what I'm saying. I am saying the decision was made for me. That's the thing. To drive this very specific type of car, this specific model, that decision was made for me. When obviously there are better decisions, better choices, given the oil price and gas price and all these other factors, I could have given myself the opportunity to make another decision. But I didn't, because I allowed others to make decisions for me. I forgive myself, accept, allow myself to want others to make decisions for me in my life. I forgive myself, accept, allow myself to give up my self-power to others, so that they can make decisions for me. I forgive myself, accept, allow myself to want others to make decisions for me. I forgive myself, accept, allow myself to never take the responsibility for myself, to make decisions for myself. Instead, I want others to make decisions for me. I forgive myself, accept, allow myself to give up my self-power and want others to make decisions for me. I forgive myself, accept, allow myself to want others to make decisions for me. I forgive myself, accept, allow myself to fear looking at all the variables that are involved in a decision making. I forgive myself, accept, allow myself not pay attention equally to every variable in the equation, because I prefer certain variables more than others, because I'm emotionally charged for certain things. Luxury in a car is more attractive to me, so I went for that than the other discomforting variables. Regardless, I should have equally distributed my attention. I forgive myself, accept, allow myself not look at everything equally. And everything here equally important to me. Pay attention to everything with equal importance. Work, job, wife, child, car, maintenance, everything. I mean, there are so many variables in my life. I have to equally pay attention to them. I have to distribute my time, my attention. I forgive myself, accept, allow myself to believe there are some things more important than others. Is that so? Maybe a priority is at this moment I should be going to work. That's a priority. So I go to work. But yet it does not mean everything else should fall apart. I have to make time for everything. Pay attention to everything. Make decision. Pay attention to all the variables. So I forgive myself, accept, allow myself to not pay attention equally to things, to variables in my life. This is again going back to avoiding self-responsibility. Linking to avoiding, it links to self-responsibility. That's why I don't take responsibility. Even to make a decision means take responsibility. To look at all the variables. So I forgive myself that I accept, allow myself to avoid taking responsibility when making a decision. I forgive myself. I forgive me. I forgive me. I forgive me. I look at myself. I correct myself. I am here. I breathe. I bring all variables here. I bring all elements, all variables in equation here and look at them, each one of them equally. And then I make a decision with what is here physically, without giving to thoughts, emotions, feelings, excitements, and energetic rushes. I am here as breath. This point obviously requires more forgiveness and further direction. Thank you. Please visit us at www.destiny.co.za. Thanks.